So one of the more common questions that I kind of get throughout a lot of my videos is a variation of the same sort of thing, and that's that why don't you use, washes and, thinning paints and that kind of thing? And, well, the short answer to that is really just that I never really learned to do it. Basically, the techniques that I was taught whenever I was taught painting was basically just purely dry brushing. I was taught, you do a base coat or a base color of a really dark color, and then you dry brush a light color over that. And that's how you get depth. That's how you get, all of that. And, when people talked about using washes and that kind of thing, I was like, yeah, I'm not really that wild about it. And I knew somebody this was several years ago. This was probably like 10 years ago or something like that. I knew somebody who used a lot of washes and that kind of thing, and his miniatures did not look very good. So that always just kind of scared me away from it. So I was like, no, I'm just going to do dry brushing. But I recently went to a local sort of a miniature painting gathering thing at my local game preserve, which is just a local board game miniature shop, that kind of stuff, where they sell all sorts of stuff and they let you play games and do demos and that kind of thing. And one of the guys who was there busted out some washes and said, all right, let's do this. And I thought, all right, so let's do that. And I did a little bit of things, a few things there, and I ended up kind of liking what I did. So I actually went and I bought this Citadel brand shade here. It's like a really, really thin, it's like a really, really, really watered down paint, almost. So I used that, and I was pretty happy with it. And I've used it a couple of times since then, and it actually looks pretty decent. So I thought I would actually use this on a miniature that I have already done for my channel. And conveniently, one of the more recent ones that I did was Sarah from Massive Darkness. Now, that miniature that I did was really, really light, and one of my friends asked me to do a base coat of gray or white, so I did gray for that video. And I was happy with the miniature for the most part, but I wasn't in love with it. So I thought this would actually be a really good opportunity to bust out that, test it out on my channel, and use it on a miniature that I've already painted for the channel. So let's get to that. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to take Sarah here, whom I've already painted, and I'm going to use this this Citadel brand oil shading thing. It's just, Nuln Oil, I guess, is the name of the color. But it's just it's really, 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 really thin. That's the point of this shade here. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to take an old an old beat-up brush here. It doesn't really matter what kind of brush. You don't need a highly detailed one or anything like that. And then you're just going to paint, or not paint, you're just going to kind of dab this oil kind of all around the mini, and that should fill in all of the low contours of the miniature and kind of add some shading onto the miniature. And this will work as kind of like an alternative to dry brushing. With dry brushing, you would do a base color of a darker color, and then you would dry brush a lighter color over it. And hopefully this oil, or this shade here, will kind of do that for us. Yeah, I've found, because I've done this a little bit, not very much. This is the first time I'm recording a video of it, but I found that it's mostly helpful to just kind of dab it, just kind of poke it into all of the little crevices, the low contours, and all that, and hopefully this stuff is thin enough and dark enough that that color should just kind of run into those low contours and provide some coloration or some shading. I'm gonna be kind of careful not to do too much. Because like right here I got quite a bit into the helmet there. I think it'll be fine, but yeah, just be careful. If there is something that is a low contour that you still want to have bright, be careful with this stuff. Alright, and what you can see here is that those gold studs that we painted on the shield, yeah, they're way brighter now. They stand out a lot more because this wash, or this ink, whatever you want to call it, is really bringing out those gold studs a lot more. Yeah, that's really adding a lot more depth to the miniature.
it's looking pretty nice now. It's not quite as flat as it was when we finished it previously. Yeah. Yeah, I never really started to use this stuff until really, really recently, and yeah, I think that it's working out pretty well. I think that that looks a lot better. I think that that kind of gives more shading, more depth and all that. Hey, Toki. My little Wartooth just walked right past me, right into my painting zone. Why would you do that, Toke? Why would you do that? That's okay. Oh, maybe because your sister's free.
Well, there you have it. I'm actually, let's see if we can get a little bit better picture there. It's hard to do that when focusing on it. Well, anyway, yeah, that's, I ended up really liking that a lot, actually. So I think that from now on, for a while, I'm going to go ahead and try to use this wash a little bit more frequently. Now, I still want to try to make all of the paint jobs that I do really simple. I don't want to do anything like crazy complicated or anything like that, because one of the things that I try to do, that I really want to do, is I want to be able to do paint jobs that are accessible to everyone. You know, I don't want to overcomplicate things. I want, you know, people who are new to painting to be able to pick it up and get right to it. And I want people who are experts to be able to really refine their skills and to look for, you know, colors that they like and that kind of thing. So, so I'm going to try to use this from now on a little bit more. I'll probably have another video coming around the corner here shortly. I was just kind of doing this as kind of a filler in between things. So thank you everybody for watching. If you like what you see as a continuation of the Sarah from Massive Darkness miniature, go ahead and throw this this video a like. And if you want to see more, you know, just board game things, hobby things, miniature things in general, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hopefully I'll see you next time on Let's Paint a Mini. We'll see you later. Bye.